Today I'm going to be looking at this JVC model, which I've been wanting to do a review on for quite some time because JVC, and I just really like JVC. I always have been fascinated with their products. I absolutely a huge fan of their car audio, their home audio. I think that JVC is a wonderful company, and I really wish them a lot of luck on their new endeavors. So this new model is a KD-X31MBS. This unit here is very unique. It's a very economical, low-price, entry-level attempt at getting into the outdoor terrain marine environment for JVC. So this is a new broad spectrum. It's a whole new category, and it's really interesting because they came in with this unit, which is very comparable to, like, say, a Clarion M502, which is a mechanismless type of unit which does not play CDs or anything to that effect. Also, Clarion has stuff like the CMS2. Kenwood also has units which the face folds down and it actually accepts your iPhone or iPod. A lot of units, especially these days, are getting away from discs because a lot of people just don't go on their boats and bring all their discs. What do people do? Like everybody else, they have a smartphone and they either stream their media or they connect it up through USB or some other form of linking it via hardwire from their smartphone to their unit. And I'm no different. Most people, I'm sure you're the same way. So JVC was very smart when they brought this new product on the market. They didn't go right for the throat and give you something that's balls to the wall, does everything all in one shot, and just gave it some high price tag. They came in as kind of like a soft sell, and I think that that's a really smart approach to doing this type of thing. So this unit here is very smart, it's very cool, it's very unique, and it's going to appeal to a lot of different people on a lot of different levels. So let me explain. First off, it really takes all of the best and most popular sought after features from utilizing smartphone technology and incorporate it into this unit. So for instance, this unit will accept Sirius XM, which of course you're not going to get good terrestrial radio reception, especially out in deep sea fishing in the middle of the ocean somewhere. So that's very smart because you're going to get that reception everywhere you go. Bluetooth, which works with your Android and iPhone. And I'm going to get into some different aspects of how those really shine with this particular unit because they both have their own specific special features, which is very cool because in a lot of units this year it's either one or the other very heavy with Android or very much with the new Siri apps or just generally utilizing apps for one product or the other. This one actually has a good mixture of both, so it's going to appeal to both Android as well as Apple users. Aside from that, it has a front USB slot, which is located right there with a little door. Totally humidity-proof treated chassis, so that way you can take this into a UTV, ATV, a motorcycle, and I'll show you why. I'm not just saying that. Look how thin this is. It's 4 1/4 inches in depth, and that's from here to here. So this can fit in just about any full-size motorcycle out there. I'm going to get into more in the back, but I want to show you just how cool and utilitarian this radio really is. Now, of course, for a marine application, you don't have to be so concerned about the size because you're going to have plenty of room. However, on some boats, little bow riders and smaller type of recreational vehicles, even jet-powered boats, this thing will fit almost any one of those things. So it's big on features. It packs a big punch for a very small unit. It weighs next to nothing. It looks sharp. It's got a lot to offer. So let's get started. Before I get involved in the screen, because I'm going to come back to it and explain to you about all the features and functions, and I'm going to let this thing kind of do its demo mode. Then I'm going to actually put my hands onto the phone and work with it, you know, hands-on, showing you how things actually function. But before I like to do all that stuff, I always go in the back and show you what you can expect. So in the back of the unit, like I said, this is it's big on features, but again, the price for this thing is just over $100, so keep that in mind. That's really nothing in comparison. So if you're looking for something for your motorcycle or your boat, I mean, $100, I mean, what is that? That's like it's like a little trip from here to an island and back. It's nothing. So $100 is nothing. This little unit has built-in microphone. You got your jack, which plugs in right here on the rear bottom left side right here. 16-pin harness, which has this little blue-white wire, which is for expansion in the future. Not yet. JVC has not taken the step. They don't have a wired marine remote such as Clarion has their MW1, MW2, etc. LCD, non-LCD remote controls. Keep a lookout. It's coming in the future. Right now, not yet. Also, it has illumination wire, which is very big, especially for contrast and seeing this thing for visibility, especially in the outdoors. Super important. Sirius XM plug right here for direct connection for your SXV 100, 200, or 300 model. Over here you have your RCA preamp output, which is only one set. It can either be full range or it could be switched over and be utilized for a subwoofer. So you can adjust this for a low pass crossover, full range, or high pass. I would like to see more preamp outputs, and I would expect that in the future, if JVC really gets a lot of good acceptance from this unit, that they're going to have a step-up piece like every other brand and manufacturer out there. Is going to be full-blown high voltage preamp outputs, front, rear, subwoofer, the works. You're going to have your standard terrestrial antenna jack like every other radio. Nothing crazy there. Standard mounting sleeve for your ISO mount. Trim ring, I mean, very straightforward. As far as your front is concerned, you have this rotary knob, which is great. I mean, it looks very classy. I mean, who wouldn't like that? This is a detached face, so you can hit this button right here, remove the panel. So if you have one of those kinds of boats where you're not on it frequently enough and you're always concerned about security, you have that. This radio does not come with a carrying case, which I guess would be cool, but you know, again, price, you know, dictates. I mean, you can live without it. You can always find something to stick it into. So you got a multi-toggle knob, which I'm going to show you how to utilize. You have your forward and reverse buttons, your source, menu button, the detach button, which I showed you there, display. You have your 6 preset buttons, which you can use times 3 for FM, so you gotta have 18 FM presets like most radios on the market, 6 for AM, 3.5mm analog jack, auxiliary input on the bottom right, and as I showed you before, you have this little door for your USB 1A slot for your Androids, Apples, and non-Apple or Android MP3 use. There you go. Or this thing also plays FLAC files, which is a new thing, which is for, you know, people who really just want to have the best sound quality possible. This unit plays that as well. So let me go forward with some other features this unit has to offer. Before I get fully involved in showing you all the menu settings, I want to show you, because this is a really big deal for a lot of people, and I can see that this would be for me. This here is the dimmer. You can adjust this, and you can see when you lower the contrast, when this unit is set like at 90 degrees in a bright situation, that's pretty much optimal for that. If you're outside, let's say in a boat, and you have a bimini top or you have the top off, that's pretty much what you're going to want to expect. So this one here can be a little tricky. I'm sure, well, not just this radio, but any radio would be a challenge to see. But at night, you can really crank up that brightness, and you can really see it very well. But it's nice to see that they give you an option at least, which is cool. And they give you all these options for the buttons. You can see I'm bringing them down and I'm bringing them up. So you have choices between the separation of the buttons and the actual LCD itself. So that's cool. And I just wanted to share that really quick before I get involved in all the other menu settings. But while we're on menu settings, let's show you what's going on. EQ settings. Basically, all this I'm doing is with this one knob. I'm pushing it in and I'm spinning it around. Your EQ presets, which I always go for Pro because, you know, I'm a pro. User 1, good enough. Bass, just push it in. There's your frequency, 60 Hertz, 80, 100, 200. Go to that frequency, increase, leave it flat, or decrease it however you want it to be. When you're done, just hit the button again. It'll take you to the Q factor. You can adjust your width in the same frequency band. The back button will always take you back one step, so it's always easy to get in and out from one mode to another. So say you want to do your mids, bring it up there, bring it up because we like a lot of mid-range. Boom, hit back again. Now I want to go to my highs, spin it forward, treble, 17,500 kilohertz. You can go all the way down to 1,000 kilohertz. Hit enter, plus or minus as need be. I love it shimmering and bright, so that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to hit back. That's my user 1 preset. You can adjust separate users for you or other users in your vehicle as well. And of course, you're going to have some other user features which I want to share as well. Pro EQ, we've already, that's where we started from. EQ settings. Here's your audio. Bass boost. You have a loudness feature, so you can emphasize the low frequencies at a lower volume level. Of course, be careful, don't use that when you're on a high volume level because you're just going to get a lot of distortion. Nobody wants that. Your display, which I showed you was your dimmer. You can have it on, have it off. You can see a dramatic difference when you use that. Your brightness feature, you have day, night. Take your pick. I'll leave it on daytime. Go back again, my tuner. You have your radio timer. You could also do text messaging, and you can actually, this thing will actually alert you and actually work with your Siri on your phone. You can't read and you can't text with the radio, but it will actually vocalize all that information right through your Bluetooth connection, which is really cool. You can adjust all these settings, which is really nice. Bluetooth. To pair this unit, I'm going to talk about that in a second because that's unique on this unit. Your settings, you can turn your beep on, turn it off, adjust your different selections for your different sources. So if you want one mode to be equal to another one, when you watch TV and the commercials are much louder than the actual program you're watching, you can adjust that so it's all regulated. Firmware update, which you could do again via Bluetooth. I mean, this thing is cutting edge. Your clock, your demo mode. I'm going to leave the demo on because I want to step back and I want to just start talking about some features on this unit because there's a lot to go over. Too much to go over almost. Now, on to some of the features of this unit. The front USB port is there for super fast charging. It's a 1A connection, so it's about the best you're going to experience down there on the market right now, up to current, which is, of course, JVC is always good like that. They never leave you, hanging for some stuff here and a little bit there. They always give it to you all or none. So if you use Pandora or iHeart, use your iPhone across the basic functions like play, pause, thumbs up, and down with the receiver's controls right here on the screen. You can also do the two-way control feature to pick your music using the receiver or the phone itself. So if your phone is equipped with Siri eyes-free technology like my phone is, anything you do with Siri can be done with this unit as well. Great for Android phones as well. You can actually get the app and use your Android phone as your remote control for this unit via Bluetooth. So no one else has that. It's the first of its kind. No other manufacturer has that. There's a little video on JVC's site that actually shows you exactly how it works because I can't spend all day on it, but trust me, that's really cool. And if you're interested in getting a unit like this, take a look. Educate yourself. As far as that goes, you also have drive change mode, which will allow you to listen to your phone's internal memory as one source and access its little micro SD card as another. Drive change also lets you switch between multiple memory cards in a USB multi-card reader if you connected this with a multi-card reader or a USB hub if you're crazy like that, like some people. And you could play that as well as your MP3s, Windows Media, FLAC files, all that stuff because it's got this awesome 24-bit digital to analog converter. Amazing. Price built in, that FLAC converter in itself is worth $100 in my opinion. So some highlights in this unit. It is marine. It has a treated circuit board, or it's called a PCB, treated PCB. This unit plays AM and FM, does not play CDs because there is no disc player. It's a mechanicless free type of unit. Built-in MOSFET amplifier, like everything across their car audio line, is 22 watts RMS by 4, 50 watts peak. Built-in Bluetooth, detached face, the short body design which I showed you, which is only 4 1/4 inches in depth. It's got the treated circuit board, which is great, anti-rust. The drive change mode, which I touched on. Separate brightness control for the LCD and the buttons, which I showed you when I had my hands on a unit a minute ago. It works with Siri's eyes-free technology, which is really cool as far as if you have an app running on your phone and you're controlling it using the Siri feature. If you're just a Siri nut like some people I know, like myself, it does that and plays it right through the speakers. Built-in iPod control, two-way iPod iPhone control. You can either use the main unit when connected via USB in the front of the unit or use the phone itself. Low-pass filters for the subwoofer, as I showed you. Also has an easy EQ, which I'm not a great fan of. I like to preset my own, but you see this unit has a built-in parametric EQ. Very easy to use. That was my first time ever turning it on and playing with it, and you saw I aced it, no trouble. It's very much like what you would expect it to be. It's not a big learning curve. It's very fun and easy and convenient, in my opinion, to use it. XM and satellite radio ready with the expandable plug right in the back. Just plug it in, mount your antenna, and it's a done deal. This thing is perfect for a motorcycle, ATV, golf carts, whatever you have, whatever toy you have that's outdoors. This thing will work wonderful. As far as iPod compatibility, it'll work with the Classic, the 5th generation, Nano, anything from the 1st through the 7th generation. It will not work on a Mini because most stuff don't. As far as the iPhone goes, 2G to 5S, no problem. FM sensitivity, 8.2 decibels. It does also feature European tuning, so if you're an American or if you're a European, either way, this unit will work, and also has the RDS, the radio data system feature, which gives you all the information and text like you're seeing here on the scrolling display. It has secure, simple pairing, which is something I touched on a little bit, but I'm going to get a little bit more involved in now. So if you have a Bluetooth-enabled phone, you can pair it with this thing without going through pin codes and complicated settings. When you have a paired Bluetooth device and it's close to the receiver, an auto connection will happen and it'll automatically pair 2 units, not just 1, but 2, and you can pair up to 5 Bluetooth-enabled devices to the head unit for a maximum of 2 Bluetooth phones and 1 audio player connected at one time. Of course, you can only use one as it's playing. You have more than one going on at the same time because that would just be crazy. SMS, which is of course for your text features. So if you're using your motorcycle, say I'll use a motorcycle as an example because you don't want to actually do any kind of texting. God help you, you have to be an idiot to drive and text when you're on a motorcycle. But if your Bluetooth enabled phone is compatible with short message service or text messaging, this head unit will notify you when a message has been received. You must use your phone to check the message. You cannot read, edit, or send the message through this unit. But it does give you that function, and it does give you that integration, and I think that's really cool. Now, by connecting this JVC unit to an Android that is either Froyo or Gingerbread operating system only, that has the free app downloaded from the Google Play Store or wherever for JVC audio control, it will allow you to list and search your MP3 music stored on your smartphone and creates a playlist according to your mood. Once you do that all within the free JVC app, and JVC is so generous, they give you wonderful apps. If you just look in the Google Play Store for JVC, they have more than most companies out there have them. I mean, Pioneer's got a whole lot, but JVC, I mean, they're going crazy with this app stuff. They just got so much out there to use. The Pandora app, of course, iHeart, which they've used forever. It's a flawless, easy, and fun to use app, and it's free again for JVC. Works wonderfully with this. Tune in down the road sometime, when I don't know, but they will have a wired marine remote option for this unit. So if you have a boat and you want to put one on the transom or on your bow, in your cabin, galley, wherever, there's going to be something to come sooner or later. What it is, what it'll be, I don't know, but stay tuned when it's out. I mean, I'm sure I'll be picking one up, and I will definitely do a full review on it because it'll be exciting to me, and I always love to share all that good stuff with you guys. So for now, that's my review on this JVC. It's a cool little piece. It's a KD-X31MBS.